Hello. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Let me just make sure. All right, how are y'all doing? So great to see all y'all here. Got a lot of people here. And so normally how I like to do the webinars is I want to save any questions for the chat. So if I come up on anything, any systems that I mentioned, and you all want me to elaborate on them, just ask questions in the chat, and that will be the best option to make sure I don't miss anybody. So give me 1 second. So I do want to welcome y'all to the CEO shift and welcome y'all to 2026. We made it. And so I wanted to really do this webinar to show you all the new framework that I've been able to build and develop. And I'll start off by introducing myself. I do want to make sure I can see the chat. I wouldn't say we got 11 people here, so that's a good amount of people. If you all could go ahead and drop your name, your business name, and what you do in the chat, that would be really helpful. And then also go ahead and drop a 1 too, so I can make sure that you can hear me. Because I can see y'all. Nobody has their camera on, but I can see you all here. Let me turn this little thing off. All right, we got Bobby. Bobby says she can hear me. Miss Whitney says she can hear me. Portia, woo woo, Victoria. All right, so that sounds good. I'll go ahead and move this little thing out my way. So again, welcome you all to the CEO Shift webinar. My name is Sylvia Glantz, and I am the founder and CEO of Personament Solutions. We are a consulting firm located in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I've been in business now since 2017. I started off in the credit repair industry. Someone stole my identity. I had to learn how to fix credit, and now we have transformed into a consultant firm. We have Cash Holland here. She's one of our, she just recently found me on Facebook, so hey Cash. I know I dropped this link and information on Threads, so I'm very new on Threads, so if you see me on Threads again, definitely give me a shout out. Just to tell you all a little bit about myself, I do help business owners move from hustle-based growth to structured, fundable, and scalable companies. And so I've been able to help business owners access over $1 million in funding through government contracts, business credit, and capital strategies. And so I really like to make sure that your foundation is solid and that you have everything you need in order to scale and grow and build your team. So I've trained over 1,000 entrepreneurs on building compliant, fundable businesses, foundations. And y'all let me know the music in the background is kind of drowning me out. And my work focuses on what happens after the strategy. So let me make sure. Oh, okay. That's Jamisa's AI note taker in here. Okay, so my work does focus on what happens after the strategy. So a lot of times we could spend so much time strategizing in our businesses that we look up and we're years down the road and we haven't implemented anything. This call is to make sure that you actually implement and that you understand how to structurally set up your business. So we're going to make sure that you're building the infrastructure that allows businesses to grow without the founder being the bottleneck. So if you're looking to grow your company by hiring people, looking for resources within your community, then you're in the right place. I'm going to be giving you tools and resources that's going to help you grow and fund your business. Now, some of the resources will be affiliate links, some of the resources will be paid, and some of the resources are going to be free. I just want to make sure that you all get access to this information. Cash says you're going to get access to the slides. Yes, and I'm also going to upload this video to YouTube, so you'll be able to go back and watch the replay, and so you'll have access to that as well. And so this webinar is for working businesses. So you already have a business, you have a stable foundation, but you're looking for expansion. Also, you're tired of guessing. The exhaustion from uncertainty is really wearing you down, and y'all forgive me. I'm just glad y'all here, and I get nervous sometimes. And then you're also looking for entrepreneurial growth, growth heaviness. So the increasing burden of scaling. So a lot of times in business, we want to grow. We have that pressure. We see all of these people around us doing wonderful and amazing things, and we want to make sure that we are keeping up with them. But really, you need to worry about yourself, okay? And then sometimes we do feel like the bottleneck in our business. I know there's been times where I feel like I've been the bottleneck, like nothing moves without me, and that can get exhausting. So in order for us to be able to grow in the next 45 minutes, what's going to happen is you will leave with a framework that shows what's possible as a founder and CEO of your company, okay? So again, this is a framework that I developed based off of my 8 years of being in business that has really helped me when I need to slow down, go back and refine things and look at how I need to make things better within my company. So there are 3 stages of business. And so this is where the frustration lives. This is where confidence erodes. This is where hustle stops working. And this is where nothing feels clean anymore. So we want to find out here which stage you're in. So I'm going to go through them. If you feel like you're in operator-led status, and I'm going to tell you what that is. Operator-led status means you are the founder and you execute everything, you decide everything, you fix everything, and also the growth equals more work for you. So if you're in that current stage right now, you're going to put a 1 in the chat. If you are in the second phase, which is transitional, you have systems, you still approve everything, and you also still resolve all of the issues, and this is where frustration lives. So even though you're spending what you're spending on systems, you're still the main person running that system, and then also you may have multiple systems all over the place, and so you're looking here and there, checking here and there, and you're not really organized the way you want to be. Now, if you're in phase 3, which is CEO ready, which is where we want you to be by the time you finish this information and you bring it in, this just means that the decisions follow structure, which means you have a process on how you make decisions. Also, your capacity levels are defined. You know how to say no to things. You don't take everything just because you feel like you need to make money. You know how to say, no, I don't need that right now. Growth is intentional, and the business doesn't depend on urgency. This is where confidence erodes, and this is where hustle stops working. And this is also where nothing feels clean anymore. So what I want you to do is take a look at this, and if y'all can, be interactive with me, give me some feedback. Which stage did you feel like you're in right now? So if you're in stage 1, which is operator-led, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. 2, transitional, and then 3 is CEO ready, okay? I hope I'm saying it right. Jamaica Little says she's 2. Portia says she's 2. Cash says 2.5. She close to the CEO. Okay, Victoria said 1. So this is going to be really helpful. I'm so glad that y'all, okay, thank you. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Again, just want to make sure, okay, I got you, Cash. Just want to make sure that we give you the information that you need. Again, whatever level you feel like you're currently in, it's going to be really helpful that you drop it in the chat so that way I can go back and reference and give you real life examples. Again, I'm going to be giving you all tools and resources that I've used that have helped me structure my business. If you all do want to take a peek at my Trello board before we finish this, that's something that I am willing to do as well. And so what I'm going to do now, because majority of you have answered my question, let's go over to the next slide. So how you know you're ready to transition to the CEO role is you've outgrown hustle. Again, you're tired of saying yes to everything. The yeses are not adding up to money. So you want to make sure that you stop saying yes. You're structured, not built to scale. So again, if you are a business owner right now who have your systems and things like that all over the place, there's really no way to keep up with everything. And so because your systems are not talking to each other. So it's not about doing more. It's about knowing what's broken, fix it first, and then move like a CEO. So again, making sure that you understand where you currently are is going to be really important for this webinar, so that way you can be realistic with yourself. So now, this is the big reveal. I did a podcast maybe a year ago, and during that podcast, I unknowingly brought back up a word that I created maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and that word is DELEMATE. Now, delegate is not a real word, but to me it is. I have finally trademarked it, so I do own the word. And delegate to me is delegate or delegate plus automate equals freedom. So what that looks like is anything you have to do more than 2 times, you want to figure out how to delegate it or automate it using a system or process or whatever that is to you. What you'll see right here in this diagram is a broken down explanation of the framework and what each letter means for the framework. So it'll help you figure out where the business is breaking, where revenue is leaking, and where growth is slowing down. So what I did is, like I said, I created this using napkin.ai. So that's a tool that I use within my business that helps me create diagrams and things like that. So if I'm doing presentations, I can use that tool to give you all a visual. So again, that tool is napkin.ai. So when we look at the framework, we're thinking about the first letter being delegate. So when it comes down to delegating things within your business, you want to make sure that you're removing execution from the CEO. So again, anything that you have to do more than 2 times, you want to figure out how you can automate and delegate that process. One of the tools that I've been able to use for that is called Scribe. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with Scribe. Drop a 0 in the chat if you've never heard of it before. It's definitely a popular tool, so some of you all may have heard of that before. But it is something that I use. It allows you to create PDF documents. And with Scribe, you're able to take those PDF documents and build those around your everyday functionalities. So certain things you do on the computer, you can use it. So instead of using boring Loom, you can use Scribe because it's going to give you step-by-step PDF documents. That's one tool that I want you all to take away as far as being able to create those step-by-step processes. And so Cash says he already uses it. So what do you use Scribe? Like, what have you been able to accomplish with Scribe? Have you started delegating already, or what phase are you in there? And Portia says she's never heard of it. Miss Whitney dropped a 1. Jamaica dropped a 1. Victoria says she's never heard of it. And so Cash says, implementing guide for my curriculum program for middle schoolers. Good. All right, so those of you who have not heard of it, we did go ahead and drop that in the chat. So go ahead and grab that link. Okay, so one of the other things too, the second phase of DELEMATE is eliminating. So I'll tell you an example of what we did internally within our team. We're still building this process out, but what we did is we built an internal survey. And so I have an AI tool that I'm going to give you all access to here as well. And so I was able to take that internal survey and use data from Screenshot Monitor, which is a productivity measure tool that allows me to see how productive my team is. So Screenshot Monitor will pretty much take shots of the screen and show you, like, again, the productivity level of your team. So if you have a virtual team, if you want to see how productive you are for yourself, that's a tool that you can use. So once you gather that information and use that data, it'll help you eliminate any waste. One of the things that we realized within our company is that whenever we took on certain projects, it was a little all over the place. And the reason why it was all over the place is because we took on the projects, but we didn't create any internal processes to transfer information to our design team. And so once we were able to recognize that, we created an internal form that now has to be completed before we start any project. So now that eliminates us wasting time. It allows us to be able to get straight to what it is we need to get to, and allows us to be able to measure the amount of time that it actually takes to complete certain projects. All right, drop a 1 in the chat if you've heard of Screenshot Monitor, and drop a 0 if you have not. This is going to let me know how helpful these tools are for you all. Screenshot Monitor does charge per person. I want to say it might be like $8 per person, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you have virtual assistants or you have people working in other areas. And I say this all the time, I don't use this tool to spy on my team and watch what they're doing. I really want to know how productive are we, and if we need to go another route, is there a way for us to do that? And that allows me to do that. I'm even able to take this tool, and I don't know if y'all have heard of Comet before, but Comet is an AI generative tool, and there's other ones out there, but it's just like Google, but it has AI built into it. And so I'm able to log into Comment and log into Screenshot Monitor and ask Comment to help me gauge my team's productivity level, help me know what they're spending time on that they shouldn't be. And I'll tell you, Screenshot Monitor helped me a while ago. This was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but it helped me see that my team was spending 65% on Canva products or projects. So thank God for AI, because I've been seeing y'all bust out the AI photos. So thank God for AI and the graphics. But yeah, I was able to determine with this tool that my team was spending 65% of their time in Canva. And so that was a no-go. And so now what you want to do once you're able to get that information, you want to find leverage. So how can you maximize your existing assets and what you're already using? You're already looking at Screenshot Monitor. You're already looking at Scribe. You have all these places where you can gather data. Now I'm introducing to you the DELEMATE Framework, which is a trained AI tool that we're going to drop in the chat for you. So go ahead and grab that link. Please note that any links that I do provide to you that you will get in an email after this call, or maybe at 6:45, because I have them scheduled out. And if you don't get it before the call end, definitely let me know. Say, hey, stop me. But the DELEMATE framework, and I'm going to bring it up. Let me go ahead so that way y'all can see, because right now I'm just talking in the air. Now, I did create it on ChatGPT. And when you create bots on ChatGPT, there's no way to put them behind a paywall, which is completely okay. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this link for you. And so basically, I did create this GPT to mirror the framework that I'm giving you and spelling out to you all now. So that way it will help you be able to really drive that framework. So it already has prompts. Now, if you are on your phone and you click on this link, the prompts will not show up. So it's better if you use it on your phone. Okay. So I want to make sure that you all have it. Put a thumbs up if you're good and you've been able to go ahead and grab that. Let me know if I need to slow down, because I know I'm giving you all these tools pretty fast. But again, I wanted to be able to give you all what you need, so then that way, again, you are in the CEO shift, okay? This is what when I said CEO shift, I was not playing, okay? We want you all to start being able to delegate tasks and delegate tasks and delegate things within your capacity. Don't do it because you feel pressure to, okay? So pretty much if I click on run a DELEMATE analysis for my business, it's probably going to come back and, well, it knows my business. So hopefully it don't tell y'all all my business, but yeah. So right now I do not have the core inputs required to diagnose your business. The file provided is in an internal playbook. So that also lets me know right now that what I did is I added a DELEMATE playbook inside of here too. And so it's actually going to go ahead and ask all of these questions, so that way it can start the process of doing that for you. But it's also going to go ahead and give you the DELEMATE framework spelled out just the way I'm doing it for you. Okay. So Miss Whitney did give me a thumbs up. She does have it. Hope y'all have it. Again, you will get this link at the end. You can get consumed with this. So what I'm going to do now that I know y'all have access to it, I'm going to go ahead and run through the presentation and continue the process. Just again, if y'all have any questions pertaining to anything that I'm discussing throughout this webinar, please drop it in the chat so that way I can answer it before we go, okay? All right, so you're now going to use that AI tool as leverage. So once you gather all of this data and you get all this information, then you're going to be able to do that. Now, another thing is I do have a how-to prompt document that I'm going to be able to provide to you all via email that will help you with that as well, okay? All right, so now that we have leveraged what we have within the DELEMATE framework, now we're looking to elevate. So this is to raise your standards and ownership, establish authority, clarity, and professional standards externally and internally. Y'all know the #1 place to do that? Drop it in the chat if you know the #1 place to elevate and raise your standards and ownership, establish authority, clarity, and professional standards. Tell me if y'all know where you're supposed to do that at. Okay. Anybody know the answer? Anybody know? Think somebody got it. I Speak to You said LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a #1 platform for you to elevate your professionalism. If you want to show up and meet people that's going to allow you to kind of grow into your professional standards and how you should conduct yourself via social media, I highly recommend that you have a LinkedIn. Who in here has a LinkedIn? Go ahead and drop a chat. 1 in the chat if you already have your LinkedIn set up. A 0 in the chat if you still got to get that going for yourself. Okay, Cash. Good, 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 everybody. Okay. If your LinkedIn hasn't been updated in about a year or so, you want to go ahead and get that updated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you how I've been able to leverage LinkedIn, which is a couple different ways and strategies that I use to leverage my professionalism on my page. Now I do have the premium tier. So okay, Cash dropped her LinkedIn. I mean his LinkedIn. I'm so sorry. So messing it up. Okay. Let's look here. All right. So when you look at LinkedIn, you want to be able to tell, or the person who's looking at your profile wants to be able to tell exactly what it is that you do. Now, I did bring up Cash LinkedIn. This is the business profile, which they are a nonprofit organization. So making sure that your business has a nonprofit is going to be instrumental as, I mean, not a nonprofit, has a LinkedIn profile is going to be instrumental as well. So to break down what I like to see when I go to people's LinkedIn profile is making sure that you're using this as a piece of real estate, just like you would with buying real estate. LinkedIn is a piece of real estate as well. It has different areas, nooks and crannies that you need to be familiar with. So then that way you can make sure you're maximizing and leveraging this platform. Okay. So one of the things that I'm trying to make sure I do is make sure I have my about filled out completely here. I don't overwhelm people who visit my page with my skills and all the things that I have to do or that I am skilled at, because I want to get straight to the point. One of the things is to simplify your processes so that way it's easy for people to tell what it is that you do. And so you all know by now I am the creator of the DELEMATE Framework. I'm the owner of Personalment Solutions. And one other thing that I didn't share with you, I'm also the founder of the Future Rich Aunties community, which is a women's networking community here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We are looking to go other places. So if you are in other areas, definitely check us out. Okay. I'll go straight to that. So one other thing too that's really important for me to know is where y'all are located. So if you could drop where you are, because we're in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I know there's people in other places, because again, I was able to leverage threads and get more eyes and meet some new people, which I'm grateful for you all being here. And so one of the questions that we have here in the chat is, who are some of the people that we should connect with on LinkedIn? So it really just depends on what your goals are as far as your business, right? So for me, as I'm navigating the government contracting world, I want to connect with those people that are decision makers. I want to connect with community development managers, people who are over all of the entrepreneur hubs, all of those different areas, anybody that might be I do a lot of researching too for government contracts. And so for us here in Fayetteville, we have what is called the EVP portal. And so with the EVP portal, you can go in and see who the person is over the contracts. So anytime you see that, you can go and connect with those people on LinkedIn. Anytime you see somebody who is a key decision maker, you don't want to talk to people that have to say, wait, I'll get back to you. You want to talk to people that can say, yes, let me send you the information you need right now, then and there. And so that's what I do. Anytime I'm going to networking events and they are speakers on stage, I'm making sure that I'm connecting with the speakers on stage as they are being introduced or as I'm looking at the program. And that's how I've been able to grow, because before I probably had like 300 to 500 followers on LinkedIn, and I've been able to grow probably like 900 followers just this year alone, just by focusing on that and expanding my network. So one of the things that LinkedIn allows you to do is also put your services here. So if you do have services, this is another piece of real estate in place where you can add those services, and people will be able to go to your page and see what it is that you do. Okay. So that's something that I really enjoy and that I like to leverage here. Okay, again, if y'all have any more questions, let me know. And also don't forget to drop where you are in the chat so that way I can see how far our reach is. One of the other things I think that we don't take into consideration as professionals is also anytime you do a speaking engagement, anytime you drop a new product, anytime you do anything, you are your own PR, right? If you can't get the news station to cover your story, you can cover your own story as well, right? So what that looks like is here in the featured section on, okay, we have somebody from Los Angeles. Okay, glad you're here. So we have the featured section here, and basically with the featured section, you can be your own PR. You can drop your own stories and show what your expertise is and what your skills are and how you've been able to do it, and associate yourself with what other organization you've done that under. So for me, I've worked with the Fayetteville Cumberland Regional Entrepreneur Hub. I've worked with our local college, Fayetteville Tech. Also, I've done things with the city of Fayetteville and just those different areas. And so I want people to know that when they go and look at my profile. So you got to pump yourself up, okay? You got to be your own cheerleader sometimes. So being able to go into LinkedIn and beef up this area. Now my screen gonna be looking crazy. Lord jeez, I don't know how to make it. Okay, there it is. Okay. So that's the featured section. Yes, Rashida, I'm in Fayetteville, right downtown. We're located at 100 Hay Street, Suite 705. I've been down here now since 2019. Really enjoy it. So here is, of course, you have your posts and things like that. So making sure that you show up and you post frequently, making sure that your experience is always updated, making sure your education is where it needs to be. And again, any projects that you've done, making sure that you put those on LinkedIn as well. Please drop a 1 in the chat if you're learning something new that you didn't already know before you came to this webinar, so we can gauge how much this information is helping you all. Good, good, good. All right. So also volunteering is going to be really important because people want you to know, or people want to know that you're not selfish, right? Volunteering is an act of service. It's an act of showing people that you care about something other than yourself. So being able to put that kind of stuff is here. Is going to be good. One organization that has helped me when I first got here, the first organization that I joined as a volunteer was SCORE. So I was a SCORE mentor for a while. I'm not active right now. I can always jump back into it. But if you have a SCORE chapter in your area, I highly recommend looking into it. And that could be one of the first volunteer opportunities that you get for yourself, but it also positions you as an expert. So depending on what your expertise is, people will come to you and they will ask questions and they will be able to get next steps. Mentorship versus coaching is 2 different things. So if they want coaching, they can't really go to, because with SCORE, you can't transition somebody from a mentee from SCORE to a paid client. So that's one of the things you have to keep it as a volunteer opportunity. So just making sure you're very resourceful. So if you're a resourceful person, I highly recommend that you look into that. All right. One of the other things is making sure that, let's go. I don't know if I can get it back small, y'all. I might have to open up a whole new window. Making sure that you also are seeking recommendations for yourself as well. So what would be really cool is if we could all connect on LinkedIn. So I'm going to drop my LinkedIn profile here, so that way we can make sure we connect. And then homework could be we can all give each other recommendations based on what we see on each other's profile to kind of help us beef it up. That would be, I think, a good thing. So if y'all down for it, I'm down for it. But also making sure that you're keeping your profile up to date is going to be the biggest thing. Again, like I said, publications, we've had different people write articles on us. I've never paid for PR, but I do like to fish for opportunities where people can publish me. And so when I go here, go show all 7 publications, you'll be able to go into my profile and see where I've been published at. Again, some of the times I do my own PR. I don't wait for anybody else. Again, if you have a LinkedIn profile, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat. I do have some connections coming in, so thank you all for that. And Portia, I hope I answered your question, gave you enough information to know next time you go to a conference or an event, just making sure that you're connecting with people within that conference is going to be a game changer for building it over. So you do that for this whole year, you'll watch and see how much your profile grows. And that's I believe that's what I was able to do, is just grow it through going to different networking events and things like that. Okay. And make sure I connect with cash. All right, so now we to the fun part. This is the monetization part. This is how you're able to align your systems to revenue. And one of the ways that I've done that, and I'm gonna unshare my screen in a minute so I can show y'all, is I use a tool called Partner Stack, right? I don't know if y'all ever heard of it. Okay, we got y'all dropping y'all LinkedIn profiles. Mary, if you couldn't in the background, I don't know if you logged into my LinkedIn account, you can go ahead and connect with them. But Partner Stack is basically an affiliate marketing tool. And so with this affiliate marketing tool, it allows me to monetize and plant those little seeds all over, right? So based on how you set your profile up, you will be sent different tools or different partnerships that will allow you to spread the word about the services, and again, plant little seeds. And so here I have over 58 different partnerships, depending on what kind of things I talk about within my business. So that's through Printify. I know that I have ManyChat is one of my partners. Lucia is a really good tool. I haven't really, let me see if it'll let me bring it up. Now, Lucia is one of those tools where you can go find the decision makers on LinkedIn. So I would definitely recommend that. And if I can, I'll drop that here. And so pretty much what happens when you get these different partnerships, you'll be able to go into the account and get the links for the partnerships. And what I've been able to do with those, again, to establish my authority on LinkedIn and build my credibility, is I turn those partnerships into tools, right? So I have over 305 subscribers to my tools to use for your business. The DELEMATE Dispatch has over 240 subscribers. And so that's something that I didn't mention. If you are using LinkedIn, also leverage the newsletters, because you're going to get in front of people that you normally wouldn't get in front of. Okay. And so I'll use Portia's example because I do know her very well. So if Portia wanted to go in and do, let me go back over here. If Portia wanted to go in and do articles about hair loss, and she wanted to specifically target veterans, because she wants veterans to come and sit in her chair because she takes very good care of them, then she can do nothing but newsletters dedicated to how to take care of veterans who have hair loss and suffer from alopecia. That would be something that she would continuously show up in as an authority within that space. Okay. Who here already has a newsletter? So put a 1 in the chat if you do, a 0 if you have not leveraged this just yet. Okay. So I know after this call, everyone on this call is going to start leveraging the newsletters. We have AI, we have ChatGPT, we have Comet, we have all of these different tools that we can use, that we can pump out this information as quick as possible. Now, on top of me leveraging LinkedIn for this, I have also added this information to my website. So when you go into our website, which is personimentsolutions.com, we do have okay. So Miss Whitney, LinkedIn is going to help you get to people a lot faster. Like I said, I do have it on my website, but I'm not sure how much the traffic is. I know that I can go back into the stats of my website and kind of check that, but this also helps me become searchable on Google. So we are able to leverage these 58 partnerships by creating blogs. Right? So these blogs can also be taken and copy and pasted and put right on LinkedIn. So then it helps us increase that leverage. Okay. All right. So I don't see enough 1s and 0s in the chat. All right. So let's see here. I'm gonna go back to the so again, that is Partner Stack. Y'all should have that link here. Okay. Let's see. All right, so the next portion of DELEMATE is the A. And so that's looking at how can you automate processes. So before I found the tool that I now use, which we're going to drop that in the chat as well, which is HighLevel. Some of you may have heard of it. It's an awesome tool. A lot of people sleep on it just because it's so overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. If you go into it and you're like, I'm going to conquer everything that's here, then you're going to be like, yeah, forget this. I'm not doing this no more. So, but it does reduce manual dependency. It allows you to automate your processes, right? So it's a CR tool for automations, workflows, and communications. We use it every day. Just how I was able to send you a message and say, hey, we're on the CEO shift. I was able to send that out in a mass way. Imagine if I had to send that out one by one. Y'all probably would just now be getting on the call and miss all this information. So again, we're going to drop that link in the chat so that way you will have it. And also it's going to be in your email. Okay, who here already uses HighLevel or who have tried to use HighLevel, or if you never heard of it? So if you have used HighLevel, 0 if you've never heard of it before. Okay, Shamika loves it. Cash, it's going to be a game changer for you, especially when you start doing like your online classes, your online courses, and things like that for the nonprofit. It's going to be a game changer. Now, to be honest with you, what I really like most about HighLevel is the fact that for $97 a month, you can run up to 3 different businesses out of that account. So I try to make it seem realistic for some people who feel like $97 a month is too much. If you have 2 other people that you talk to on a regular that might have businesses, think about how you can share this opportunity with each other and split that cost down the middle. Now for me, I have probably like 16 or 17 sub accounts. So I do pay $297 for the software. But again, $97 a month is a good return on the investment for the amount of things that this system will do for you. Okay. I know I Speak Tease. I believe she uses HighLevel. Has anybody else heard of HighLevel or not heard of HighLevel before? I Speak Tease just dropped a 1. Okay. Portia, did you say you heard of HighLevel before? Like I said, it's really good. All in one. Yes, Miss Whitney said 1. Now, are you all currently using it? And Portia said she tried it. So when you tried it, what was the outcome? Well, how did you feel? Was it overwhelming? Okay, training. Okay. Miss Whitney said no. Okay, overwhelmed. Okay. Okay. Jamaica says she's using it right now. Like I said, I love it. I've been using it now for about 3 years, maybe 4 years. And I'll tell you why I started using it. I had built my Facebook profile up to 10,000 followers and somebody got my page shut down. So I lost access to all of my customers. I was doing credit repair at the time. I lost access to my business page. I lost access to everything. And so for probably like 2 or 3 months, I was depressed. I was like, how am I going to rebuild my business back up? Like, how am I going to get access to people? And it ended up being one of those things where I went from 0 to 1,100 followers just by using this system, okay? Now, if you all haven't picked my drift up just yet, all of these steps are going to lead you being able to delegate, build a team, and hire a VA, okay? Because now you've got to the point where you have your system to automate your processes. Again, you remember I said anything you have to do more than 2 times, you want to figure out how you can automate it or delegate it, right? And so Jamaica says, oh, it is overwhelming at first, but I stand with customer service and they get me right every time. Yes. Yes, they have in the corner, they have a help desk. You can use it as much as you want to, right? And they are there to help you because they want to keep you in the system. They always got some things going on inside that they can get you to use 24/7. Yep. So track, measure execution and outcomes. So internal reports and surveys. So how are you all right now creating internal reports and surveys? For me, I'm using my system, my all-in-one system. So I create surveys and I take that information and I'm uploading into ChatGPT and helping it, getting it to help me assess the data that I'm using. Now, one other thing that I use to track data is my accounting system. I don't know if you all have an accounting system already. Most of the time people do, and they always say QuickBooks, right? But I use Wave accounting, which is about $16 a month. So it's not as expensive as QuickBooks, and it does the same thing. You can go in there and reconcile your books. You can go in there and track your spending, and all of those things too. Cash says he uses Wave too. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat. If you use accounting system, put a 0 in the chat if you don't have accounting system just yet. Okay, I have used QuickBooks before though. Yeah, I started off with QuickBooks, and it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, let me go to Wave. Okay. So most of everybody has accounting system. You want to make sure you have a way to check your books. And the reason why I say this is because once you get to the final stage, which is expansion, you want to be able to provide profit and loss statements. You want to be able to provide data that's going to help you continue to scale and grow. And one of the things that we've used here within our company, and this should be a something all over the United States, look into the WIOA program. So basically with the WIOA program, for the most part, they have 2 different types of funding opportunities for business owners to help you hire employees. You don't have to pay anything out of pocket for one particular program. The other program, they will reimburse you. And so one of those programs is called WEX, and that's WEX, and it's work experience. Here in North Carolina, it's called NC Works. If you're in another state, it may be called LA Works or Georgia Works or something like that. But with the WEX program, they can give an employee, and they do reverse referrals, which means that you're limited to the reverse referrals. But basically, if you know someone that you feel is capable of fulfilling that job, you can put your job posting up and then refer them to apply for that job. And then the WIOA program will pay their salary. And so that looks like they're being allotted a certain amount of hours. For us, it's 480 hours. I just signed a contract today to bring on an employee. So it's 480 hours. And so that's going to take you to about 6 weeks of time to build up your revenue. So then that way you can either pay them out of pocket or either do what is called OJT, which is, hey, we did the WEX program. OJT means they need some more training. And now we're going to hire them. But we have to be reimbursed. So whatever you pay out, typically they'll reimburse you 75% what you pay out. If I would have known that 5 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, I probably would be a lot further. So I just want to make sure that I share that information with you all. WIOA is a nationwide initiative. I believe that each state has this program. It's also how some people are able to pay for certifications through local colleges. Like for us, we have Federal Tech. And then also making sure that you're checking for business and community resources. One of the other things is with this program, they did like a summer youth program. And the ladies of the Future Rich Aunties community, we were able to get about 13 interns for the summer. And with those 13 interns, we were able to leverage them and use them to schedule out our marketing material, which is still being posted today. That was all the way in August, and now it's February, or it's January. I'm going too fast. But all of our stuff is scheduled out all the way until February. So being able to use those tools will be helpful. Now, I'm going to go all the way back because I have now taken you all the way through the DELEMATE framework and what that looks like. Now, if you all have any questions again, definitely let me know. So then that way I can answer them before the call. And let's see what we have here. See how long. Oh, so what I want y'all to do is, I know some people register through Eventbrite. But what I want to do is make sure that you all have the email that you're supposed to get. So if you could go ahead and check your email to see if it has come yet. And I'm going to check the system and see if it was sent out, so I can make sure that y'all have everything you need before the call is over with. Got it. Good. Okay. So just to break down what you have in the email here, you do have the framework, the ChatGPT. You also have some review questions that I want you all to respond to this email with, or you can post it on social media, however you want to do it, because this is something that we want to continue to put this information out. So what was the most helpful part about the CEO shift session, and how do you plan to use DELEMATE Framework AI in your business over the next 30 days? So I know that understanding the DELEMATE Framework is going to take a little bit more I would say a little bit more studying, but I wanted to make sure that I gave you all at least an overview. And so if you look at the email, you will also see that I have provided you with all the links that we have dropped in the chat. And then also our next steps, if you are interested in talking to me a little bit more, you can take this screenshot and book a clarity call. That link is also in the chat. You also have the GHL link there as well. If you want to try it out, you do get a free 14-day trial. So then that way you can at least use what we have here to help you. Now, I do provide a playbook for those who sign up for the GHL, and I'll show you all a little bit what that playbook looks like. I'm going to go into my Canva account. Y'all going to get to see all my stuff, and then I'm going to show you all too. Let's see. So again, if this information was so good that you want to go a little bit deeper, definitely schedule that clarity call. I would love to talk to you all, get to know you all a little bit more, and see what your goals are. And I guess I should have had the playbook at the very top. Oh, here it is. Okay. So pretty much anytime I do something within my business, I try to have playbooks, and I'm going to do the multiple pages. And so basically what we did is we were able to create this playbook, which gives you a step-by-step on different things that you can implement and build inside a high level, which one of the most difficult things has been getting through the A to P verification process. So that is why we provide a step-by-step document. So again, if you do decide to sign up with our affiliate link, then you do get access to this playbook. Because we'll be able to see on the back end that you signed up. So I'm going to share my screen a little bit so that way I think I can do, so y'all can kind of see. Okay. Okay, so I mentioned playbooks here, right? Is that phone number, text, and access? Yes. So the phone number is 910-387-1334. Okay. So pretty much this link or this book just pretty much just tells you the step-by-step of what you are able to do within the platform. I give you help desk links. So any links that you need to kind of try to figure out how to work it is going to be in that playbook. The step-by-step on how to set it up is going to be there. You know, how to set up your sub accounts, all those things are here. I know I Speak T says she needed a little bit more training. And I don't know if you have access to this playbook, but if you do need some one-on-one training, definitely let's go ahead and do it. But yeah, that's what I've been able to build out, just coming back through, you know, building out the DELEMATE framework, then pairing that the DELEMATE framework with software and all of those great things. So again, if you all need more and further assistance, I am here to assist you through a business clarity call, and then continue to stay in touch with me. I'll be dropping different webinars and classes. Contact information has been placed in the chat. You can reach us again at 910-387-1334. That will, we can receive text messages, and then our email address is info@personimentsolutions.com. My direct email address, I'm going to put it here. And before we go, I want to verify that everybody has that email. Let me know if you don't have it. Okay. Have Bobby Johnson. So, okay, Rashida says she has it. Good, good, good. Hopefully I get to meet you soon now that you realize we right up the street from each other. Okay, so now that we're at the end of the webinar, what I do want to do is I do want to give everyone a chance to come off mute so that way you can introduce yourself. Once you introduce yourself, then we'll go ahead and end the call, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start at the top. I'll just call your name. If you can come off mute, let me know. If you can't, that's completely fine. So we'll start first with Bobby Johnson. You can just put a thumbs up if you're unable to come off mute, so then that way I can just move over to the next person. Okay, Bobby says she can't come off. Cash, are you able to introduce yourself?
How y'all doing? My name is Cash Holland. I'm the founder and executive director of Financial Boss, and I teach kids financial literacy and money management. This was great. Thanks a lot, Sylvia.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, Miss Whitney says she can't come off mute. I Speak T's, are you able to come off mute briefly?
Yes, ma'am. Hello,
All
everybody. I am Tamara Hall Lewis, and I am the owner of I Speak Teas and the founder of Divin AI Systems, and also a FRA member.
Woo woo. All right. Next we have Jamaica.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I had to step away, but I am the founder of Suite 101 AI, and I work with AI and automation with beauty service providers. So I've been using quite a bit of high level on my side just to get all of my automation set up. I've only been running this like probably at 100% since September. So I'm still like in the learning phase of all of this. So I'm definitely like, I'm going through all the links. I got the email, I got it open.
Thank you. Yay. Okay. So next we have Portia. Portia, are you able to come off mute?
Yes, I am. My name is Portia Paris. I am the owner and operator of Paris Exquisite Hair Loss Center, as well as Paris Exquisite University. And this was some really, really good information that you released. I'm definitely going to use the links.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, Rashida, can you come off? You can put a thumbs up if I can just skip on over you. Okay, no, it's okay. All right, so last person we have here, I think on the list is Victoria. Definitely let me know if I skipped over anybody, but Victoria, we have you coming up next.
Hey guys, I'm Victoria. I'm from LaGrange, North Carolina. I'm just getting started with what I'm doing, so I'm kind of new. It's been an on and off situation with this business thing, but I believe 2026 is going to be the start.
Yes, yes. So again, y'all, the DELEMATE framework isn't about hurrying up and hiring somebody. It's pretty much really looking at what you already have going on and figuring out how can you delegate and how can you automate, right? Or delegate and automate. So then that way you're able to, once you're ready to hire somebody, you understand what it is you have going on. The biggest mistake we make as business owners trying to hire people is we're bringing them on and they just sit right beside us all day. We nobody got time for that. We want to make sure that we know exactly what people are supposed to be doing when they come within our business. So again, I'm really urging you all to book a business clarity call so it can be a more customized approach as far as what it is you're doing specifically in your business. I didn't go in depth because I guess I try to be humble a little bit about myself, but my background is in operations management, so I love everything operations. So if there's anything that you all need structurally, foundationally within your business, I can assist you with. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Again, this video is going to be uploaded to YouTube, so you all will get that link. If you have any questions, want to reach out directly, you know where to find me. Thank you all. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Thank you.